We're going to go ahead and do quick introductions. Then Jennifer is going to give us some FAFSA updates. Then we're going to move on into our guest speaker, Stephanie Miho. And then we are going to head on over to Sophie for some CASFA updates. I'm going to talk about burnout and mental health resources. And then we had several questions that people filled out when they registered for this webinar. And then we will talk about upcoming and community events. And I'm going to post this in the chat. It might come through really weird. Oh, yeah. Yeah, very strange. Okay, sorry about that. All right, quickly, I am Twyla. I'm the Director of Outreach here at the Department of Higher Ed. I will send it on over to Sophie and then Jennifer, and then to introduce yourself. And then after Jennifer, we will introduce Stephanie. So go ahead, Sophie.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sophie Vogel. I am the CASFA coordinator at CDHE. Thank you for joining us. And Jennifer, take it away.
Thanks, Sophie. Yeah, I'm Jennifer Lucero. I'm the Outreach Navigator for Colorado Department of Higher Education. And Stephanie.
Hi, everyone. My name is Stephanie Miho. My pronouns are they, them. I'm the Career and College Counselor at Sierra High School in Colorado Springs, and I'm also an ICAP facilitator with the state, which I will talk about a little bit later.
Great. Thank you so much. Jennifer, let's go ahead and have you take it away.
Thank you, Twyla. I will share my screen for those FAFSA updates. Give me just a second. Making sure, let's see. How does that look, Sophie?
Perfect.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah, again, I'm Jennifer, Outreach Navigator for CDHE. I am just filling in with some FAFSA updates while Martha is out. But it has been a big week for the Better FAFSA. Lots of updates that now allow students to log in and make corrections, signatures to their FAFSA. And while students are able to make corrections, institutions of higher education are still waiting for that ability. There's no date yet as to when IHEs will be able to make those corrections, but stay tuned. As to date, though, there have been hundreds of thousands of FAFSAs reprocessed and more every day. There are still some FAFSAs that need to be reprocessed but haven't. So if you're looking at an ICER and not sure if it's been reprocessed, there are new codes to determine that. A technical FAQ has been created to give you those codes. If you Google technical FAQ and knowledge issues ed.gov, you can pull that up from there. That technical FAQ will also give you the process of searching for duplicate ICERs because some schools were sent duplicates, but you can search them and delete all but the ones you need. The backlog of electronic FAFSAs has been cleared, so if students are able to complete their FAFSA form, it will be sent to schools in a timely manner that 1 to 3 days. However, we are still waiting for all paper FAFSAs to be processed. No time frame on that. Just been told that they will be processed after the electronic FAFSAs have been processed. And FSA has released Volume 3 of the 24-25 Federal Student Aid Handbook, so you can mosey on over to their website and download that there. Last week was FAFSA Week of Action, and while it helped a little, there's still a lot more to do. The good news is the FAFSA completion portal is active. If you'd like to see where a school is landing, you can go to that website and narrow it down by school. Please be aware all information is not yet added, so there may be some information missing, such as student information that has not been added as of this time. And I just wanted to briefly mention, I have been out in the field working with students and parents to get their FAFSAs completed. I've run into some of the same things over and over. For instance, server errors come up. Usually if there's some kind of internet or IT security issue at the location, this typically happens at schools where access may not be that great. I'm also seeing a lack of understanding when when there's a manual verification process for the contributor, that does require the contributor to call the 1-800 number in the email or their FAFSA portal. They get a case number and submit the proper items through email. I've also seen a lot of unmatched, personally identifiable information. So if there's a parent who's created an FSA ID and it doesn't match what the student entered exactly, they will have problems when it comes to entering their information in the portal. So if the contributor receives the email, but the link in the email doesn't take them to the student's FAFSA, they will want to check that every field is exactly the same. Abbreviations are exactly the same, numbers, parentheses. Just make sure that everything matches exactly. And even though next week is May 1st, believe it or not, there's still a lot of work to do. So keep encouraging students and families to fill out their FAFSAs. And don't forget that we can help with in-person or virtual events. And I even offer some office hours to assist students and their families when they're filling out the FAFSA. So if there's anything that we can do, this is my email, phone number, and the Calendly invite link where students and families can use to schedule time with me if they just want another set of eyes on their FAFSA. But that's all I've got. So I will turn it back over to Twyla.
Great. Thank you so much for the updates, Jennifer. Now I will go ahead and pass it on over to our guest speaker today, Stephanie Miho.
Thanks, Twyla. Appreciate it. So I was asked to join this Lunch and Learn today just to kind of talk a little bit more about ICAP and in particular how that really connects to this financial piece, right? So FAFSA and CASFA. If you're not familiar with the acronym ICAP, that's Individual Career and Academic Planning. It is a state requirement here in Colorado. That is something that students have to be doing. Often ICAP is looked at as sort of a one and done kind of activity. So you do some career inventories, maybe you do a presentation around like financial aid options, and that's really it. That's our ICAP. It's completed, tick the box, and it's done. Really what we're looking to do in this state is we would really like to encourage folks to consider ICAP as an ongoing process. This is not a one and done thing. Everything that we do is ICAPing. So every time a student has a conversation with their math teacher, or they come and they talk to their counselor about a career option, or maybe they chat with their aunt about what she does for work and how much she enjoys it. But those are all part of the process of ICAPing. And so really thinking of it as an action item. Within that ICAPing model, we do have some financial literacy components that we're trying to encourage for students. And one of those is really understanding what are those opportunities that I have and can access that will help me pay for the future that I'm trying to pursue, whatever that is. When we think about, accessing things like scholarships, including those at colleges, FAFSA and CASFA are really going to be the foundation of that. And so thinking about how can we promote that engagement with students early on. One of the things we like to do is really start with our freshmen. And so we're introducing these terms to our 9th graders as I'm at the high school level, so that all 4 years they have these terms in their mind, they're aware of them, they know what it entails, and they're ready for that experience when they hit senior year if they're moving on to a 2 or 4 year school. We also include in there some conversation around how do you plan for if you have to take out student loans, or how do you plan for if you're not planning to go to college, what are you paying for, what do you need to access, does it cost money, those sorts of things. And so really thinking about how do we utilize that early on and get students really understanding what are these opportunities that they're pursuing. Along with that conversation, I think is also being clear about what is required for FAFSA, CASFA, and what is not required for that. So I definitely have families and students that will express some concern about putting their information on a government document. They feel there's some concerns there. And so I think our role as those advisors is to really help alleviate some of that concern and talk through, these are the things that you're going to be including, this is what's expected of you, and this is what you should expect on the other side of those processes. With financial literacy, I also encourage, like I said, that conversation of loans and scholarships. And so again, we're going to start with, let's get your FAFSA, CASFA done in your senior year. That's data and information that your colleges will be utilizing to determine if you meet their financial aid requirements. Other scholarships may also ask for that information. So we have seen scholarships ask for things like that SAI number. They want to see what families are expected to contribute to colleges. And so for students to have that information and capture it is a great thing to be teaching them to do. And again, really doing that early on. I would also say that I think that conversation can start way sooner than high school. So when we think of ICAP, we're talking about all the way through our lifespan. There's never a point that stops. And that really does start from a very early age. We're talking like pre-kindergarten, really. So even thinking about, if you're not introducing those terms, talking through, there's financial options for things in the future, incorporating that into lessons you might do with students. I've seen a lot of like maker spaces and things like that, kind of running their own student store, or what does it look like to go to college, doing some of that research early on, maybe in 6th or 7th grade. Those are really great ways to incorporate that financial literacy component early on. And again, this is all about giving students those tools and that information so that they can make the most informed decisions as they're moving forward and considering, what do I want to do with my life? What's my next step after high school? All of this conversation is really embedded in, again, that ICAPing process, so that action piece of it. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm part of the ICAP facilitators team with the state. One of the things that we do is that we support districts and schools around the state in implementing ICAP, and also looking at their current practices to see if there's adjustment that wants to be made or is needed. Again, when we think of it as sort of that foundational piece, we want to think of like, what's that tier 1? How am I meeting most or all students first, and then building upon that? And that can feel really daunting. Sometimes it's very easy to go to that state level and just pick an item and go, oh, I'm going to do these 3 career inventories, and I've met that requirement for ICAP for my district. But we really want to look at like, how do you build that in foundationally in the classroom, also having those targeted activities on top of it. And so I would really encourage folks to reach out and please connect with our team. The head of our team really would be Robin Russell. She's a great person to connect with at our district. Am I okay to go ahead and pop my contact information in chat as well? Is that getting the nod there? So I'm going to go ahead and put my email in the chat as well. You are always welcome to reach out to me. We are a wealth of resources. There's about 12 or 15 of us on that team in different locations around the state. And again, we're looking at, right now we're going through the process of rewriting kind of the state requirements based on legislation changing. And so you should see some changes coming down through that. But we want that process to feel engaging. We want people to feel supported. And we want you to know that we don't expect you to build those things from scratch. There are state resources for you. And so please leverage that. It's also free for you to access. And so again, you can reach out to any of us. We're happy to meet with you over Teams. Come to your school or come to your district, whether that's one time or multiple times. There's a lot of ways to connect with us. Is there, this CDHE team, anything else you guys want me to make sure to chat about? And I know I'm going fast. I'm in between events right now. So that was kind of, can I come on for 10 minutes and chat with folks?
Yeah, no, that's great. I don't have any additional questions. I don't know if anybody else does. No? Oh, okay, great. Thank you so much for joining us, Stephanie.
Yeah.
We have your email there in the chat. So if any of the attendees, can take that and send you any messages, or questions. So thanks so much, Stephanie.
Perfect. Thanks, guys. Take
We'll
care. Have a good rest of your day.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
All right. So Sophie, it's your turn how to edit your CASFA.
Thank you so much, Twyla. I'm going to share my screen and talk about some pretty fun CASFA updates. So for clarification, my name is Sophie. I'm the CASFA coordinator, and I didn't put it on here. CASFA stands for the Colorado Application for State Financial Aid. CASFA is the state alternative to the FAFSA. So if a student is not eligible for federal student aid and cannot complete a FAFSA, they should complete a CASFA. And let me know if you have questions about that. I have an update. I've been waiting for this for a while. If you've come to a lunch and learn before, you've heard me saying, I don't know a time frame. Well, now I know. So the CASFA SAI calculation update, the 2024-25 CASFA ICERs processed after 7:35 a.m. Mountain Time on April 15th, 2024, have updated SAI calculations. So students can edit their CASFA, so their information with the updated SAI calculation is sent to their school immediately. The 24-25 CASFA ICERs will be reprocessed to the updated SAI calculation in the end of May. So what this means is that students can edit their CASFA. So students completed their CASFA between the first day the CASFA opened for the 24-25 aid year, which was December 31st, 23, and 7:35 a.m. Mountain Time on April 15th, which was a week and 2 days ago. They can edit their CASFA to obtain a new ICER with the updated SAI. The students who want to do this will be students who need to compare financial aid awards as soon as possible to make decisions to meet commitment deadlines. So potentially 12th graders who have applied to multiple schools and are trying to compare their financial aid awards, those students will benefit from editing their CASFA now, today, or tomorrow. The students who won't really benefit are going to be potentially current college students who are staying in their program at their college or university, as well as students who don't need to compare financial aid awards because they know where they're going. So, little warning, please do not tell all of your students to edit their CASFAs because not all of them need to. Additionally, consider supporting a student who struggles to follow instructions with in-person communication as opposed to just sending them an email or a virtual message. I just mentioned this because I think there is a potential for this to be a confusing message for CASFA students. So let's try to limit the confusion as much as possible. So please utilize these videos in English or utilize videos in English and Spanish, as well as written instruction PDFs with screenshots in English and Spanish. I have the CASFA website listed up above, and there's a button towards the top. You click the button and it will take you to editing your CASFA, the link below. These instructions should be simple enough. I'm going to go right now to the right spot, I guess, to show you what it should look like. So this is a test student of mine who is going to edit their CASFA. And in my videos, it takes me about 2.5 minutes. It may take your students longer potentially because they haven't done it a few times like I have. However, it shouldn't take them too long. I think 2.5 minutes is pretty reasonable. So you will sign in with your email and password. The CASFA website. You can go to documents, and then your most recent CASFA, the one that you've edited the most recently, has this. You click here, edit completed form. So my student's name is Ray. And Ray has to click all the way through their CASFA and re-sign. They don't have to change anything. So Ray's just going to click next a bunch of times. I believe skip ahead is just going to do the same as next. So since Ray doesn't actually need to change anything, just needs to edit their CASFA to get the new SAI calculation, they're just going to click next. Keep clicking next. A few more clicks. It's not that long. Guess I have to re-enter marital status. So now Ray is able to certify, and then Ray can e-sign. Ray needs to download to check. We just did check. So Ray is going to just go ahead and sign with their first name, last name, password they used to create the account, and sign. You can see here that Ray now has a new CASFA with a new SAI. Ray is all done. This SAI will be sent to the colleges and universities on Ray's plan. So thank you for your patience as I show you that. And really, that's about it. You can also contact me here if you have any questions about this process. Of course, ask questions now. And thank you again for your patience. I would say in general, it could be frustrating that FAFSA has been challenging this year, and then CASFA has had this as well. So please advise your students if they are trying to compare financial aid awards that they should go ahead and edit their CASFA so that they can send their new SAI to their institution, and their institution can process and award them aid based on their updated SAI. Does anyone have any specific questions they want to ask about that? Dallas asked a question. Thanks for your question, Dallas. So this is because FAFSA for the 24-25 aid year had an SAI calculation that they shared with CASFA, saying this is how SAI is going to be calculated. And then I can't remember if it was February, there was some sort of news related to FAFSA, and they were getting negative press because the SAI calculation didn't account for inflation. So I guess the income protection tables that were used for the FAFSA SAI calculation were outdated and didn't account for inflation for the last 3 years. So federal student aid said, okay, we will update our SAI calculation. So federal student aid, maybe I should remember this, I think it was February when they admitted that they're going to delay the FAFSA information being sent to colleges and universities longer because they're going to update their SAI calculation. CASFA then said, okay, we need to update our SAI calculation as well. So Ray had completed their CASFA, let's say April 1st. So Ray did everything, their parents signed April 1st, but Ray is trying to figure out if they're going to go to Metro or CCD or UNC. So Ray needs to compare financial aid awards. That's going to be a deciding factor. So what Ray did is they edited their CASFA and they signed it again. And now their new CASFA with the updated SAI will be sent to the UNC, Metro, and CCD immediately. If a student like Ray does not edit their CASFA, the CASFA will automatically reprocess all the CASFAs that haven't been edited by the end of next month. The challenge is that the timing may be limited for those students who need to compare awards. So if a student needs to compare award, they can do that editing now to get the financial aid award from the college or university sooner. That was a long answer to your question, Dallas. Please let me know if that made any sense, if anyone wants to add anything, or if anyone has any other questions.
Great. Thank you, Sophie. All right, I'm going to go ahead and talk a bit about burnout and some mental health resources. We've been hearing from people in the field that this has been a particularly challenging aid year, and people have expressed stress, burnout, worry. School enrollment, is somewhat down, and FAFSA completions and CASFA completions are down in the state of Colorado. And, we're all in this together. There are resources out there to help us with, our day-to-day challenges, stresses. And one thing that I always think is, yeah, today's a stressful day, or, tomorrow maybe, but this too shall pass. We recently had an event at the Daniels Fund, and Teresa Hadsock, as well as Janelle Cook from Colorado Mountain College, they talked about what they're doing at their school regarding FAFSA and CASFA completion, but they also talked about how April is National Stress Awareness Month, and they have been at their school, they have been participating in a 2-week self-care streak and prioritizing their well-being. They also have been offering anxiety workshops in the workplace during work times, as well as this is something that they had started and created during the pandemic. So they also, and I'm sure some of you can relate if your school has resources that they offer to employees, but they have free counseling for employees. us as state employees, some people are considered at institutions state employees, some are not, but us at the state of Colorado have the Colorado CSAP or CSEAP, and I'm going to put that in the chat. And CSAP offers free counseling service. They offer help with certain bills up to an amount, and it's just all around support for employees. They have many webinars. I see here on their website they have meditation resources, and oh, they have financial coaching, which is awesome. But also they have counseling for serving family members. So that is great to know that there's always that resource out there to help us during these particularly stressful times. Also, what is really neat at CMC, they offer annually, I guess, a $900 self-care and mental health support, which is way cool. I wish we could get that at the Department of Higher Ed. And what it is they can use this money to purchase a ski pass, a gym membership, massages, and additional mental health counseling. So that is that's super awesome that they have that available. They also have weekly check-ins with their staff team member, supervisor, and then they also encourage to take lunch breaks and get fresh air. I know for me personally, every day I try to take my walk, either in the morning or early morning or, at noontime, which today it's really nice out there. So I will definitely do that maybe later on this afternoon. So it's always good to get out and get the sun. Vitamin D is great for you. One other thing that they are encouraging people to do is do your annual physical. Just make sure you don't have any chronic, conditions and that sort of thing. Health coaching and lifestyle changes. So that is really nice that they offer that, as well as, with your own insurance, lifestyle changes. I know they offer many, for example, with Kaiser, they offer many free coaching classes as well as many free apps. I get the Calm app on my cell phone for free through Kaiser, which is really a neat app. You can go in there and put on peaceful music, do meditation walkthroughs and that sort of thing. So that is always a great perk and something that I use. And I'm sure there's a million other apps online that you can get free resources. So please check that out. One other thing, and people should really do this, and I'm guilty of not doing this, and this is taking sick leave when I'm sick. So that includes mental health days. So recently, I'm sure some of you can notice that I've been taking some days here and there, and I have been using sick leave because it's like a mental health day. So don't tell anybody, but yeah, I'm taking a sick day next week on my birthday, actually. So please use those because that's what they're there for. I'm going to put a couple of resources in the chat that may help. Please take them. I think you guys should be able to pull those out of there. I'm not sure, but we can maybe post these also on our website. Here is the 2-week self-care plan that I spoke about earlier that they're doing over at CMC. And then they have, they sent us over 2 other resources, which may be helpful. Please, they said, feel free to take these and use as your own, modify them or whatever it is you'd like to do. So it's just really good to have something on board to help you and your teams out there. I really like that 2-week self-care streak. Maybe we should do it for the outreach team. I'm going to look a little bit more into this. So does anybody have any questions that I can answer? No? Okay. I am going to I have a few more web resources from the Higher Education Assistance Group, Financial Aid Consultants, Mindful Strategies for Financial Aid Staff. to proactively combating fatigue and burnout during these difficult times. So I'm going to put those in there too. Anything that is helpful. This is actually a link. And then there's one other burnout. Great. All right. Well, just know that we're always here to help with any sort of events or anything that you have, or if you need to talk to somebody about a particular issue, we're always around to help and support you. I think we are going to next go into the questions, right, guys? I'm trying to find, here we go. Questions. Yes, the questions from our registration. Some people, or we did offer the option to put in a question, a specific question that you're having an issue with. So first question is, I still have students whose parents do not have social security numbers and are unable to complete the parent FAFSA. They're still waiting for identity to be verified. They emailed a utility bill, etc. Do we have any additional thoughts around that? And I'm gonna post it in the chat as well. So Jennifer, I'm not sure if you want to take that one.
Yeah, I have some thoughts. I was thinking, I know that emails are not necessarily being sent for every single thing. So contributors and students should be logging into their portal. Watch the email just in case they are sent an email for follow-up information. But if they log into the portal, they should be able to go to their activity and see maybe what is holding that up, or there might even be a warning, but like a little, a warning at the top that tells them they can either call the 800 number, or if all else fails, they could send an email again to idverification@ed.gov. Might help out.
Great, thank you for that. All right, next question. Is there a pre-FAFSA check sheet that we can give to our juniors before summer break so they can begin gathering the information they will need in October for the 24-25 form, which actually I think it would be 25-26 form for next year, right? So I'll put that in there. And then Sophie just posted a really neat resource that DSF, the Denver Scholarship Foundation, has available on their website, and they have other checklists. I was looking on their website earlier for other grades as well. So this is awesome. Just kind of looking through that.
Thank you, Twyla. I
Please.
should have put the link after you posted the questions. Sorry, they go together. And one
it's in
other
there. We see
piece
it.
that is really important when we're thinking about our 11th graders who will be 12th graders and completing a FAFSA or CASFA next year, please support them and please support their families in completing their 2023 income taxes, because without filing taxes in 2023, unless they don't need to file taxes because there's a bunch of exceptions, but if those families need to file taxes for 2023, they will need to do it in order to complete and be awarded aid for the, let's see, 25-26 aid year. They'll need their 2023 taxes. So that is one thing to focus on with students who are going to be in high school next year, who are still in 11th grade right now, is help create that awareness that financial aid is derived from families paying their taxes, filing their taxes. Thanks.
Thanks for that, Sophie. All right, the next question, which I don't know if they did not finish putting that in there, but it says undocumented parents for FAFSA. And I'm not sure if that actual person is here.
I know I could just briefly say
Yeah.
that the portal, the FAFSA form has been updated. So if the doc or the contributor does not have a social security number, they can check the box and then they will enter specific information so that they can try to get verified electronically. If that verification cannot go through, that's then when they will go through that process I mentioned earlier, where they will either look for an email with a case number or call the 800 number, get the case number. They will have to send a document of attestation along with their utility bill and appropriate ID. And then now that the backlog has been cleared, they should be verified by that manual process within 1 to 3 days. And then when that is done, they can go in and enter their information on the student FAFSA. However, I do also want to mention they will need to enter their FTI, their federal tax information manually.
Great, thanks for this, Jennifer. All right, the next question. When will ICERTs be sent to the institutions? Which I believe they've already started to get sent to the institutions. I'm not quite sure. Is this the are the new ICERTs, maybe you know, Sophie or Jennifer, are they the proper the ones with the correct everything in there? Okay. So yes, they're being sent to the institutions, and with that, we are receiving ICERTs at the Department of Higher Ed, and today actually I sent out an email to all the superintendents around the state from Dr. Angie Piccioni, our executive director, regarding the data share agreements that they will need to fill out to have access to the FAFSA completion portal. And I think I put the chat in towards the beginning. Yep. I'll just put it in here again. So I'm also reaching out to those other people who have reached out over the past year asking about the portal, and I'm going to send them an email saying, hey, we sent this out. Please check with your superintendent so we can get these data share agreements in place. So, all right, next, and I believe the last question is, so this one is an interesting one, which not quite sure. Why was the system not able to retrieve IRS data for those contributors? I'm not sure. That would be probably more of a question for FSA. Hopefully they know the answer, but I don't know. This year's been very interesting, so I don't know if they do have that answer. Anything to add, Jennifer or Sophie? No, yeah. Not sure about that one. All right. Okay, so I think we may finish a little early today. I believe all we have now are upcoming community events. Let me open our website here. We have events on our website. I'll put them right here. So May, our next Lunch and Learn, we do have another one of these in May, May 22nd, and you can register right there on our website. We also have on May 2nd, Sophie is going to be doing a CASFA student and family workshop in collaboration with Opportunity Next through Colorado's OEdit office. So this will be for high school counselors, students, and families. So you can register right through that link that I sent. Also, Sophie is doing, also, actually, this looks like these are just basic FAFSA completion part 1 and 2. We have the one on March 18th, that one already passed, but we have another one on, those are old. Those are all old. Okay, so we have some FAFSA follow-ups. We need to do some updating to our website for some events, but we have, let's see, we have some summer steps for financial aid, reducing summer melt by supporting students with many financial aid activities over the summer. So that's one 90-minute session, May 14th. And then there's another one on May 15th. So that looks very interesting. That is also with OEdit. I think I may jump on for that one. And then we have a May 13th. walk students and families through FAFSA. And how to answer questions. We had one, or we have one on April 29th. Then we have one on May 13th and May 29th. And then a few others. We have some more CASFA workshops, financial aid offer review, and then next steps post FAFSA. Let me make sure. We do have FAFSA and CASFA office hours. So you can go on and sign up for any slot of time that is available with Jennifer or Sophie and help with and get help with filling out your FAFSA or CASFA. So we have those. You can find the link through our website there. And I don't know, am I missing any other events? I think I got most of them. Yeah. All right. Anything else to add, ladies? No. Okay. All right. Well, with that, I think, oh, I see you guys added the great. The links in the chat. Thank you. All right. If we don't have anything else, we're going to give you back about 15 extra minutes, and please get register for our next Lunch and Learn, May 22nd, and we look forward to meeting you then. Thank you all. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Sophie, can you stop recording?